2008 was a standout year for the Xbox 360. The caliber of games released was unbelievable, with games such as GTA 4, Braid, Fallout 3, Gears of War 2, Fable 2, Left 4 Dead, N+, Mega Man 9, Mirror's Edge. Little did we know though, that on Halloween of 2008, here in the UK, a game would be released that would go on to become arguably one of the rarest games on the Xbox 360. So what game holds the accolade of being the rarest game on the 360? My Horse and Me 2. Now from what I can gather, the only reason why that this game is rare is because it didn't really sell that many copies. And after you see it, you'll probably understand why. Anyways, let's dive into arguably the most rare game on the Xbox 360. Time to start a new game and get straight into the action. No storage device selected. Do you want to continue without saving? Now I get to select a storage device? Well, that was intuitive. Let this set the precedence for the experience you'll have playing this game. Time to customise our character and move on to customising our horse. Now when naming horses in games, there really only is one choice. After kicking off the game, we're greeted with the opening cutscene.
Hi! You're not my Uncle Roger.
Sure I am. The fresh air and good feed keep me looking young.
My goodness, this is a really obnoxious and creepy way to introduce a character. So we find out that the horses are sick.
The horses are sick?
And that we're here to win some competitions to make money. Time to introduce Uncle Roger, who has one of the strangest old guy voices I've ever heard.
Hey! Stop chatting and get to work, you two!
I honestly think it's a young person trying to sound old, but either way, it's pretty out there.
Emma? Oh, there's my little filly.
Oops, I left my luggage at the gate.
Well, if she has the stride to match her spirit, things are gonna get interesting.
Brandon, my boy, things are gonna get very interesting.
Could you guys sound any more creepy? So as the first cutscene gives away, the main focus of My Horse and Me 2 is to win competitions. In order to do this, we have access to training, grooming activities, character customization, and mini games in order to waste some time. First things first though, we need to get into basic training in order to be able to compete. So in order to move your horse, you just select the speed and the horse runs constantly at that speed. All you really have to worry about is the direction the horse is headed. Pretty simple, I suppose. Let's move on to the next lesson. Come on, that's some amount of text. In a game where you pretty much have every other piece of dialogue voice acted, would it have killed you to voice act this and make it a wee bit easier to digest? Anyways, on to the training. Dressage is as fancy as it sounds. It turns out dressage is just a fancy term for QuickTime events. All you really do is move through the dots at the correct speed and then follow the QTEs on screen when your horse is trotting along. All while Roger tries to sound as creepy as possible, it seems.
What a beauty! Oh, I can see that again. Keep it up. Keep going. That's great.
Seriously, it sounds like all this training is kind of doing it for him. Lastly, it's all about jumping. Run into the red section and the horse jumps the obstacle. It's not really rocket science.
Keep going.
But now that we're finished our training, it's time to move on to
We're
some...
ready for the first
50G just for finishing the tutorial? I don't see 1000G being too hard to get here at all if that's your thing. Anyways, as I was saying, after the training we can move on to competitions. Wait, is that a floating present? I'm gonna head over and get my hands on some presents. Wait a second, I need to walk my horse over there to enter? What's the point in that? Just load my horse. So it's back to the stable, slowly walk the horse over, get on the horse, grab the present. Nice! More clothes. We need to come back to this area every now and then to collect these gold stars. Apparently they're the horse's overall fitness. I can see the idea. You get the horse to run around the field, and the more you run around, the more stars you collect, so the more fit your horse is. It all seems a bit cryptic to me. Now that that's over, let's move on to winning our first competition. What, my horse is dirty? Guess it's time to head into the stables and get Shadowmere ready to take on the competition. The way that taking care of your horse works is that you have 3 categories: grooming, washing, and feeding. Within each of these you have different activities, but the best part is that all you have to do is find the easiest one and just spam it. The only grooming task I really perform is petting the horse, and to be honest it looks a bit creepy. All you do is mash the A button to fill the pet meter on the side of the screen and then watch his hearts fly by. doesn't really look like Shadowmere's into it too much. For the washing section, I just choose to hose Shadowmere down. This doesn't take too long once you get used to the controls. There is a missing texture for water bubbles that made its way into the final game though. Looks as though I'm blasting the skin off with a hose. I doubt the FEI would be too pleased. Finally, for feeding, I just choose to feed Shadowmere water since it's another spam the A button kind of task. There are other tasks that have you doing wee mini game type things, but it just ultimately takes up loads of time that you don't have to spend. Just fill the bucket, pour it into the trough, and we're done. Finally, it's time for some competition. In each competition, you have 3 rounds. First is dressage, where you trot the quick time events. Second is show jumping, where you run into red wedge shapes. And third is cross country, where you run really fast into red wedge shapes. You can try as many times as you want at each, but once you win gold in all 3, you get a gold trophy, and it's back to the ranch.
Why so happy, Caitlin? If she keeps riding like that, you're out of a job.
So what? The more our horses win, the easier it'll be for Roger.
And for your mom, right?
Hey, that's enough, Brad.
Brad? Ugh, it's not my name. It's Brandon, okay?
My goodness, not sure what they're trying to accomplish by getting the main character to intentionally mess up another character's name. Another thing I noticed with this game is the music. Now, I know that the elevator tones of the background music may not be to everyone's tastes, but sometimes, randomly throughout the game, the songs will play and sound as though they're skipping. Listen to this. That's not my capture of the game, that's exactly what it sounds like during normal gameplay. I wonder if the person responsible for the music was also responsible for the bubble texture. Moving on, as you compete in more competitions, you unlock mini-games. These mini-games really only exist as small time wasters and ways to get more easy achievement points. Let's take a montage look at the mini-games we get to play. First up, we have a race with Caitlin in which we break the sound barrier in order to race our friend. Caitlin, not enough action for you? Well, how about trying to tame the mechanical bull? If you can ride a horse, then you can ride a bull. Aw, too bad, Emma. At least we got an achievement. Stay on horse 25 seconds in rodeo game. Game, you're so silly. Want to contribute to the ranch? Then let's herd some foals. There may be a lot of foals to look after, but hey, at least they're super annoying. Feeling lost? Well, have I got the game for you? Labyrinth. It's as fun as it sounds. Now that you've found your way out of the maze, it's time to guide a ball through some poles in the slalom game. Controls be damned as we try to guide this ball around a field in under 65 seconds for an achievement. Whew, that was some intense mini-gaming. Now that all that's finished, we can get back to the story. So it turns out that all the horses are getting sick and everyone has their theories. Amidst all the blaming, Basil McDunbar makes himself known, looking as creepy as possible.
Cheryl, you are still looking lovely.
Basil, what can we do for you?
Talk Roger into an early retirement.
He tells us that his handsome son is riding horses against us in the upcoming competition, and that he's looking to buy the ranch from us.
Ah, you must be Emma, the new rider. You're doing very well, young lady, but watch out, you'll be up against my son next.
Well, he better be good.
Oh, he is.
That's Basil McDunbar. He's been trying to buy out Roger, and he's got the green to do it.
All while this is going on, a small cutesy romantic thing is being teased between Emma and Brandon.
You're looking great, Emma. I mean, riding really well. You know what I mean.
Oh, don't be hard on Brandon.
I'm not. We just like to tease each other.
Wait, what the hell is up with her eye? I guess that just adds to the rough around the edges aesthetic that this game really is nailing. Things take a turn for the worse though, as after a while more and more horses get sick, and surprise, surprise, look who it is! Basil McDunbar!
Be reasonable, Roger. Take my offer.
Listen, you. We're not the only ranch in the area with sick horses. The Cullens up the road and the Barnhursts have it as well. Caitlin and I spent the last week taking samples everywhere. And we're all downstream of your factory, Basil. You're making the horses sick.
I don't believe it. You can't afford the lawyers to prove it.
After some probing, it turns out that horses from other ranches are also getting sick. Turns out Basil might be the one responsible, but he's been a bit of a dick about it.
You're on the edge of bankruptcy. I could buy you out in a heartbeat.
I won't let you do that.
What's your plan? Win the lottery?
Nope, the Kentucky event. If Emma wins that, it'll be more than enough to pay off what we owe.
Wow, no pressure or nothing. Well, I guess the only thing left to do now is strap on a saddle, head to Kentucky and win us a ranch. Let's do this! all that's left now is to sit back and take in the happy ending.
There you are. We can't start the party without the guest of honor.
It's just, I'm a bit overwhelmed, that's all.
If you think you're overwhelmed, you should see Basil. Not only did they lose the event, but there are technicians from the EPA swarming all over his factory. He is in a heap of trouble.
Wow, turns out everything is wrapped up in a nice neat package, and now I can put this game away and never play it again. So all in all, this is a pretty bad game. Now that's not to say that I don't like it just because it's a horse game. I mean, even horse game fans probably wouldn't enjoy this. But this brings me on to a pretty important topic, and that is that this game is probably the rarest game on the Xbox 360, but rarity is in no means tied to quality. There's a myriad of games on the Xbox 360 for an absolute fraction of the cost that would get you a more lasting experience and that you more than likely would just enjoy more. I mean, after all, you can get all of these for the same price as this. Anyways, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time.